Give you some information on just on the trail for 11 months. I was in the desert for many months. It's hard. April, May, June, July, August, September, October. Those are years in the desert, months in the desert, out in the field, talking to people when no one believes in you. And I figured it would take a long time before my campaign really got some legs. What we're doing is we're going to go to the small business owners. We've started already, so we'll have posters. We're ordering a couple thousand of them this week with postcards that match to go into small business owners' windows. We're going to be running a general election campaign in a convention season. Most of the other candidates are trying to qualify for public financing, even Tom Foley. So don't be deceived. He's going to use public financing. I don't blame Tom. He put a lot of money out, and to have the state come back and give Malloy, I think it was $3 million more last time because he put so much cash in, that was unconscionable. So Tom's looking for that too. What we're trying to do is drive our name recognition up so that people know us. So anyone that you know has a hair salon, a pizza place, a mom and pop, they can put these in. They can put postcards at the counter. Bruno's had them for months at his Bruno's Deli. I don't know where he is. He's in the back here, and he's been pushing across. He's been pushing across the counter when people come up. And Bruno will tell you. I'm going to actually have Bruno tell them what the response has been. When they don't know me, what are they saying? You're not afraid because you're a Republican.
Yeah, I tell him he's the opposite of Malloy. It makes it easy. So a lot of people don't know him. I told him pretty soon you'll see a lot of commercials, and he'll be out and visiting everybody. All right.
Well, anyway, so we've been beta testing this, and it's why. Here's another reason: minimum wage. Again, I'm not going to be negative on candidates, but I'm going to be characterize what they're doing. For Tom Foley with an MBA from Harvard to agree that minimum wage, just for placating to a liberal base, was the thing to do this week. I agreed I would work for minimum wage if I'm elected because minimum wage is horrible to try to live on. But first, here's my idea. First, Americans need a job. Then they need a tax break. Then they need a raise, in that order. Because the minimum wage is just a gimmick by Malloy and Obama to try to polarize the rich and the poor. Okay, this is all it is, and we all know it. In a good time, it would be great to hire minimum wage. So when we go to these thousands of small businesses, we're going to videotape what the small business owners have to say about minimum wage. Not just a politician or someone running for office. So we'll have that information and that data and the film to show the media and put it out there in the social media what small business owners and mom and pops are saying about why they surely would give minimum wage, but they have to train either the elderly, there's a lot of elderly, or women, or young kids that are not prepared for the job. So to get them to see if they're even going to stay for 6 months and pay for the training, and then many of them leave, but most of them will move up. There's statistics that show you won't spend much time at minimum wage. You'll move right up. If you're going to stay, business owners will give you a raise right away. They're entry-level positions. We've all been there. I've worked for minimum wage before when I was a young man. So, you know, and no one wants to stay at minimum wage. But the polarization of Obama is all they got. They have nothing else. They're class dividers, and that's what they do. Connecticut, as you know, people don't have money in their pockets. And, you know, I'm a working guy. My pickup truck's outside. They'll come to me and tell me they're having a hard time versus Tom Foley or some of the other candidates because they know I'm having a hard time too. And I got in the race for probably 6 or 7 reasons. First of all, I couldn't take it anymore. I knew on the gun issue, no one would stand up. Secondly, I figured the candidates will also try to go negative on each other, and I didn't want to have another Tom Foley, Mike Fideli war. There may be talk about them going negative, but at the end of the day, if they do that, Dan Malloy is your governor reelected. Pure and simple, and I couldn't stop it. I could do what I can do, and I'd have to go to war with them. Most people know if you go to war with me, you're going to lose, and I'm not looking for that. And I hope in the hearts of all the candidates they're not looking for that, just to drive their numbers up. We can recruit during the summer months of a primary. 50% of Spanish that can vote in Connecticut are not registered. Like right out of the Secretary of State, Denise Merrill's lips in Danbury a few weeks ago, we heard that. So we're looking in the Dominican population, the Portuguese, the Jamaican, all these different areas in the cities, connected with the cities, to get people signed up with the new online voter registration. There's nothing wrong with that. People think, oh my God, the Dems are going to game it. No, if the Republicans work, we can sign people up right online on an iPad, at the door or on their iPhone. So we're going to look to recruit, because already on the gun groups you'll see people registering Republican. It's all visible, all the gun guys in the room know, to vote in our primary. So we can drive our numbers up as a party. And that's what I intend to do. I probably have 2,000 people that I'm in connection with across the state right now, and probably 750 that are, I'll call them zealots with me, that will now, in a grassroots campaign, no other candidate has a statewide campaign but myself. I haven't done one press release in 11 months because I'm not concerned what the media has to say about my race. I beat John McKinney basically in the Q poll because 89% of Republicans don't know me, only 72% don't know him, and I tied him, and I beat Boucher. So here's a guy with no money, living off the land, with thousands of supporters, grassroots from all parties, trying to do something that I want to bring American elections back to the way they should be. So, and plus I'm in the circumstance, so why not? I couldn't sit at home. I don't know, I'm here because a lot of you probably want somebody because you couldn't run, and could you sit at home and watch what's going to come down with our candidates who basically are doing political sound bites. I'm trying to get them, and they're kind of coming over with bringing their ideas out. So it's so important that we bring our ideas. Democrats are coming over, and I'll give you one of my big sound bites. Not one more house or job lost in Connecticut.